Hi everyone, I'm Emmeline Muldoon and I'm here today with Jim Delacolli to talk to you about the lovely full moon in Pisces. So hello everyone. And today is the 9th of September and the full moon actually falls tomorrow morning, that's East Coast time, 5:59 a.m. on September the 10th. So adjust that for your time zone. Well, this is a big, I feel like this is a really big full moon. We were just talking about this before we started recording for quite a few reasons. So emotional, the energy, and you look at astrology, and I think when you really study it and you go through it, you feel there's just not a coincidence, and talking about the passing of Queen Elizabeth this week, and now we have this big emotional release energy come in. That's how a lot of people are feeling across the world, across the UK, but also we're going to be seeing that within our own relationships and our own circles and people that we encounter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Up the chart so we can have a closer look at what this chart looks like for all of us. And we have the chart set for Charlotte, North Carolina on the East Coast. So again, just when you're looking at this chart, just look at where the planets are, and circle the planets and what signs they're in. Do not pay too much attention to which house they fall in, because that's going to change depending on where in the world you are for this full moon. But the planets and the signs, they don't change. So we'll just sort of concentrate on talking about the aspects that the planets are making. Okay, so this is a Pisces full moon. Full moons are always, we were just talking about this, weren't we, Jim? They're always an emotional time anyway.
Yes.
And tired, exhausting. I feel a lot of the time when you get a full moon, you can be really exhausted. You can just feel shattered and tired and run down anyway. And also it brings out the crazy. It brings out a lot of people that don't really study astrology, but then you start talking about astrology to them, they'll say things like, I don't know if you get this, Jim, as well. They'll say things to me like, oh my gosh, I'm a bus driver and you don't want to be on a shift on a full moon,
Yes.
or one of my friends works in labor and delivery. She says the nurses do not want the full moon shift.
Yes. Yeah.
So, obviously, when you start paying attention, you start listening to it, lots of people notice the full moon. The new moon is really good for growing, manifesting, seeing what you want to bring in. But the full moon is really bringing out the crazy, bringing out the releasing. It's like you're letting your emotions go. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this is the full moon in Pisces, the emotional overload time.
Yep. Yeah. Pisces is the ruler of the 12th house, which is the end of the houses 7 through 12, and Virgo, opposite that, where the sun is the ruler of the 6th house, which is the end of 1 through 6. So it's house 1 through 6 we work on ourselves. House 7 through 10 we work on what we've come to know through others. So we're completing a lot of things here, and full moons are times for endings and completion. So there's a lot changing, a lot happening, a lot of energy that we're going to be dealing with from both sides of this, for the Virgo and the Pisces side. And so, I just want you, and Emmeline wants you to be ready for anything. A lot of hidden here, a lot of karmic action here, a lot of needing to know here. So you're going to get a lot of things that happen. Don't believe everything. I'll say that, but it doesn't mean everything's not trying to reveal itself. So you're really going to dig deep here and figure out what it is going on.
I was just talking about the over the top of the emotions. So my husband today was sort of talking about how everyone seems to be in a very emotional, highly strung state, everyone he's encountered in work. And I have had a few encounters today, just in shops and restaurants and things, where people have been particularly rude to me. And I was telling my husband earlier, and he said, you know, what's going on with the energy today? What is it? Because everyone's just acting like really angry and cross and emotional. And I was like, don't ask me about the energy. I'm trying to tell you about my story about people being rude. But anyhow, if we were to answer that question now, doing our jobs as astrologers, I think we can point to a couple of things. Firstly, Pisces, overload and emotion. This is the moon. Secondly, we've got the moon next to Neptune, which is highly sensitive. This is like, if you get this in a birth chart, there can be a psychic energy, a connection, sensitivity to food, sensitivity to emotions. So we've got this, the full moon hitting the Neptune. So that's bringing up the Neptune in that in the midst of it all. Then to add even more into the equation, Mercury, as a lot of you probably already know, because this is very much all over the social media now, Mercury is stationing retrograde at the time of this full moon. If you look, there's an S here in the chart. That's how you know it's stationing. When a planet stations, and I think we spoke about this in the video or two before with Uranus when that was stationing, the impact of that planet, the symbolism of Mercury is so intense and strong during this full moon. And what does Mercury symbolize? Talking, gossiping, communicating, like just, it's in Libra as well. So with others, with another person, talking, getting that. So you're getting the emotion out in a way where you're talking. Now, what's Mercury doing in this chart? Trining Mars in Gemini. Now, we said this last time, Mars in Gemini is like using your words as a tool in a nice way, is your tool, like a lawyer would, but it can also be using words as weapons. So that's kind of like my little synopsis on why we can encounter overly emotionally sensitive people and people who are maybe being quite challenging with their emotions and their words as a result. I digressed a bit there, sorry, Jim.
Well, and then, you know, we had talked in the last video about Mars going to run in Gemini till I think we talked about March of
March
2023. Yeah. So Gemini is the twins that don't face each other. So it's like both sides of an energy. You might be one way one day and the opposite the next. And Mars says, hey, we must pioneer, we must figure out, we must move, we must take action. So with this trine, you're trying to figure things out, and I'm going to tell you that confusion is everywhere. And to try to bring patience. Mars and Mercury do not like patience at all, and so it may be a little frustrating here, but hang on, take deep breaths. Try to find that comfort zone, or that place where you can go to where you're you can stay in the middle ground and let this energy work, because a trine is two planets that are in a same element and they want to work together. So try to let these work together, but know that you're going to have these energies of being impatient, want to know, gotta know, trying to figure it out, and there's going to be a lot hidden, because Pisces rules the karma aspect of life, or the self-imprisonment, or the things that we've been tripped up on. So know that we're going to be dealing with all this at one time. This is a monster time here for us to sort things out, and there's going to be a lot happening, so get ready.
This is an intense full moon. It's very very, I think intense is just the best word for it. It's just,
yes.
So emotional intensity. We've been in it a lot. We've been in this moon a lot, I think, with a lot of emotions around it.
Yeah.
But bear in mind, we're in September, and we're sort of building up to the October, November, which is the the crazy time this year for astrology. There's a lot going on then. So even though we're talking about this emotional intensity now, just bear in mind when we get we're building up to just a general astrology overload time with the next 2 months ahead. And in fact, I think we're actually into eclipse season now as well, because the first eclipse is on 25th of October. I think this full moon is now sort of bringing us into eclipse time frame as well. So we're building up to that energy as well. I mean, we're not in it yet, but we're building up to it.
Yes. Yep.
With eclipse. Yeah, so that Mars is definitely, I think, pulling in some aggression maybe into the emotions.
Yeah, it's trining, like we just talked about Mercury, but it's also Mars is going to be squaring the sun, moon, and Venus. So it's squaring the sun and moon that are opposing. So and it's squaring Venus. Mars is the male aspect, Venus is the kind of the female aspect, and our like in our way of understanding things. And so having that square, that means that they don't want to work together, right? And so you're going to have to try to sort this out through the aggravation and frustration, and you're going to want to really, really be careful. There's going to be a lot that happens here, so don't let this get you out on either end of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's right. Mars square Venus is can be quite a hostile energy. Because the masculine and feminine are clashing here. They're aggravating each other in a way. So that is also bringing that sort of clashing energy into the mix. And Virgo, which Venus isn't particularly sort of happy in Virgo, because Venus like loves Libra, it loves being in Taurus, it can indulge, it can find beauty, it can be doing the things it wants to do. In Virgo is like, no, let's be practical, let's get on with things. So you might find you're feeling that Virgo energy during this full moon period of I want to be practical, and I'm trying to be practical, and I feel like I'm being practical with my emotions, but maybe it's not easy to do.
Yes. Yeah, I've been noticing, I think this is the energy, this Mars energy dealing with the planets, it's dealing with that. I kind of always feel like I have a decent understanding or perspective. And right now I don't feel that. And I think that's part of this moon. It's like you almost question yourself here quite a bit. And that's okay. I want you to know that's okay, because I think it'll take you to a healthier place once we get through it. But right now you're not probably going to be there, and so know that, and don't let that throw you off maybe who you are. So
and that could be the Neptune moon as well, just not seeing your emotions clearly, like not fully understanding your emotions, not understanding what you want. What do I need right now? And I think I know what I need, but I'm not sure.
Yep.
That's perfectly fine as well. I would say we've got so many planets in retrograde, and Mars is going to go into retrograde on Halloween. So we're building up to an even bigger retrograde period. But all these planets going backwards, we're meant to be reviewing. Like, what are we trying to figure out to get to the point where we know where we want to go? So if you are feeling confused with this full moon, that's fine, because we're going to move forward anyway. Yeah. Other thing I would say about the moon with Neptune, we were just talking about this before as well, before we started recording, is sleeplessness. Neptune, I think, when it gets to the moon, can sometimes interfere with our sleep this weekend. So you might feel like you're having trouble sleeping. Also, I think with the Pisces and the Neptune, pay attention to your dreams this weekend. What is coming out in your dreams? It's going to be important.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other thing I'll add to all this, looking at from what we've talked about up to now, I'm going to add Uranus, Saturn being square, and Uranus tries to free us, and Saturn tries to keep us in what was or you know, what maybe is in the moment. So with those two squaring up and all that we're dealing with, there's a lot of change that's right in front of you. And
Mhm.
you may think that that's something that would never possibly change, but it's going to. So with that square and that going on and all the kind of uneasiness, this is going to take us to a better place that if we can just hang on and just, you know, take one step, put it in front of the other, we will get to a better place, because in the end, Uranus square Saturn will take us to a better place. Uranus always trumps Saturn, and its ability or wants or needs to restrict. So
I really like that. That's a really good point with the friction that we're getting with those two planets squaring as well. What do we want to work on? Where do you want to break free?
yep,
And that's going to really come to head in October.
yep,
Because that's backwards, but yeah, we're in that now. And we're definitely feeling that energy.
yeah,
What are you working on? Look where your Saturn is in your chart, and look where the Uranus is. Where are you breaking and changing? Like you say, Uranus is trying to leave you better, and it will win.
yes, yes.
Yes, it's a good time for a reading if you're not sure what that square or how this Mars is aspecting you, because there's a lot that you're going to be working on between now and March, especially with the eclipses coming in. So if you really want to understand how this is working for your own chart and where the energies are, which houses they're falling in, then it's a good time to either if you've a question, post it in the comments below, or maybe think about getting a reading over the next few months.
Yes. Yep. You want to go to the oppositions, or
Yeah,
we got of course Sun and Moon, Venus Moon, Jupiter Mercury, and Neptune Sun. I'll let you take some of those, because before we got up, I thought you were all over it, so I'll let you handle.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about this full moon. So, I'll start. I'll talk about the Jupiter Mercury, because they're opposite each other. Um, Jupiter's in Aries right now, and it's going back. It's retrograde. So Jupiter's like, I want to talk about me, and I want to push myself forward because I want to act, and I want to. Mars is the energy. I want to. Aries is the energy of like me going forwards and putting myself out there, and having the confidence to do so with the Jupiter. But it's being pulled in with the opposition from the other, which is in Libra, which is other people talking to you. So maybe it's like you feel like you want to move forwards, you've got these ideas, and you're acting maybe a little bit impulsively with Jupiter in Aries. But then you maybe have others' opinions or other people talking to you about what they're doing, or you're hearing information from others that's maybe pulling you in a different direction.
Yes. Good. I don't even need to add anything to that. That's good.
Okay.
We got the Neptune Sun, Venus Moon, and Sun Moon.
So I think the Neptune Sun kind of, we've got Neptune Moon and Neptune Sun, haven't we? So definitely, like I said, emotions coming up, confusion, and try and pull into the higher love, because I always look at Neptune. This is the way I look at it personally. As I know a lot of people say confusion and dreams and like that veil that you can't quite see through, which it is, but then it's also the higher love. Like Venus is love, Neptune is the higher love, and I always pull into that side of it because I love love. And so I always look to the good of these energies and good as a planet. So if you look at Neptune opposite the sun is shining its light on the Neptune energy. So let's try and sort of incorporate what we love into the equation, let other people bring that energy into us as much as we can during this time where we might feel emotional and confused and a little bit lost.
Good. Yeah, no, that's good.
You want to do the next one?
Yeah. We did, you did Sun, did you do Venus Moon? So
Yeah, Venus, no, I didn't actually. I'll let you do that one.
So we want to be careful. It's not a real tight opposition, but it is by sign. And so Venus is not real happy. I think we talked about that. Maybe it was off
Yeah.
in Virgo. So you know, the moon wants to nurture, Venus wants ease and love and you know, simplicity, grace. It likes all those things. So careful what you want, and careful oppositions of maybe you long for something, but maybe that something wasn't good for you. And maybe you want to try and bring it back. Just careful there, or you might need to bring it back. You know, you have to answer that on your own. But you know, whenever I see Venus and Moon, they always want, or they can kind of get nostalgic into when they're opposing each other to maybe what was. So careful there. It might be something that you've introduced back, or it might be something that you can finally release, as I like oppositions, the point where you see the extremes and maybe you can let it go and then move to something more. So, you know, just be very careful there. But know that you may be longing, or you may be wanting, or you may fondly look at, or you know, think or feel about somebody or some situation, and let that go, and then take a breath, let it pass, and then see if it continually comes back. If it doesn't, it's probably meant to reintroduce into your life.
That's really good. And here on the East Coast, you see Venus is on the ascendant of the chart. It's right there at the beginning,
Yep.
9 o'clock part. So us on the East Coast of the United States is going to really be feeling that Venus, that I want to be practical with my emotions, maybe.
Right. Yep.
Also, because it's going to be right there on us, on top of us in our in this part of the world.
Yeah. So,
Okay, I think are we done?
well, I just want to go to the trines of Uranus and the Sun, and Pluto and the Sun.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you know, the only things I'll say to that are, of course, the Sun is kind of well, not kind of, it is the direction, and it illuminates that path, or that we want to reveal, or that we want to discover and live this life with that life force. And Uranus is finding the truth in our own unique path, and Pluto is the soul's journey. So it's everything, right? And so with these two trine, I think that you're going to be wanting to seek the truth. Don't let somebody else try to tell you the truth. Discover it, because Pluto rules revealing the hidden. Discover the truth. Know that there's going to be tremendous opportunities for you to advance where it is you want to go, the Sun, in your own unique path, Uranus, and it's the soul's journey. So because they're all trine, huge opportunity that they're all going to work together here for you to advance on your course, your path. And these are all earth signs. So it's about advancing on the earth plane. Maybe a lot of things will crumble on the earth plane. And then it'll be up to you to like figure where it can go. Huge opportunity here. I call this the big wealth transfer. So prepare yourself. As some of the things that I always held value, always appeared to hold value, are going to go by the wayside. So new things can replace. So get ready for that.
Yeah, it's a really good point, because we've got, you know, Uranus is in Taurus. We've been talking about this for years. Astrologers have been saying, you know, it's shaking up our resources. And,
Yep.
you know, maybe now people are starting to listen, because it has been doing that for the last year, I would say. But, you know, it's been in that sign since 2018, and it started it then. So we've been saying major shakeups to the earth, events, and, you know, resources. And that's, yeah, just definitely here. And with the trine to Pluto in Capricorn breaking down, yeah, that's a really good point. Pluto in Capricorn is trying to break down the structures, and it's that now. So it's trying to finish up what we've been working on since 2008. when Pluto went into Capricorn. So I think you can all see the association of what Pluto's trying to do. And then Sun in Virgo, get the job done. Get
Yes.
the job
Yes.
done. So yeah, it's a really good connection. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was my last one. I don't know what you want to add.
No, that's perfect. I think that's a good way to end.
Okay. I
Yes.
felt like we hit all the points. So I wish y'all the best here. This is
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of change. We've been talking about this, and you know, I want you to be a huge part of the change, but from deep within you, from your soul, from your perspective. Don't be afraid to now get put out there what you want, who you are, what matters, because we need that. You're going to need that, and we got to get this thing. We got to get the ship righted here.
Yeah, it's as I said, very intense full moon. So just one of my neighbors put up a werewolf decoration, a really massive big one the other day, and I was looking at it and I thought, wow, that's so.
They put a werewolf? What?
Yeah.
No kidding.
I thought it must be for her. It's really early, but this is gigantic werewolf, and it even moves a little bit. It's yeah,
Wow.
but it's like kind of reminded me of this full moon energy. So
Yeah, no, that's a good analogy. I love it.
yeah, so yeah, just be kind to yourself, and if people were being aggressive and being mean, just try and like, just process and step away as much as you can, because it's you don't need extra grief and emotions at this time.
Yes. Yes, and don't let if an event or something happens, don't let it throw you off. You know, stay within yourself here. So
Yeah.
okay, good.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you. And Emily and I appreciate everything, and let's keep this thing rolling.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim.
Yep, take care.
You too. Like always, it's always great to do these videos.
Yep.
Until the next time, the Libra new moon. We'll see you soon.
Yes, take
Bye,
care.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.